Hello guys, welcome to the second part of the video, introduction to HTML part 2. So I'll just open VS Code. Okay, so if you have not installed VS Code and have not watched the previous video, you can simply go to your browser and Google download VS Code. Okay, so you can go to code.visualstudio.com and you click on this. So you have three download buttons here. You have the first one for Windows, the last one for Mac, and the middle one for other operating systems. So just download. Depends on the device you're using. If you're using a Mac or Windows or other operating systems. So okay, so I've previously made a video on how to open a folder inside VS Code. There are several ways you can actually do it, but I'll just use a very simple method. So you can actually do it from here, but it's a very simple method. So like I previously mentioned, in VS Code is a coding environment for developers. So this tab here, this side tab here, it's an activity bar, and this is the top bar, and this is the status bar. So they have different functions. You can go to the previous video on the VS Code installations to see what they do. So to open a folder, we can simply come here to this first icon and click on it and click on open folder. So this is one way we can open a folder, and I can simply name it. I can name it to maybe website HTML. Okay, so I click on it and I say select folder. So it doesn't have to be only on desktop. Okay, and if I want to just close the folder, I can come to file, up bar, and click on close folder. So that's one way you can open a folder in VS Code. The other way is to maybe go to where you want to take example. I want to open a folder from here. I can simply create the folder from the desktop, and I can say website HTML2. Click on enter, and I go back to the VS Code and I click on this first icon and I click on open folder. I click on desktop and I click on website HTML2. So I'll recommend the second one if you're just starting on coding, or you're very used to VS Code. It's easier to open a folder through renaming it before you open it on a VS Code. Okay, so I also made mention in the previous video, there are four icons here. So the folder is open, you can see it, website HTML2. There are four icons here. The first one is to create a new file, the second one is to create a new folder, the third one is to refresh the folder, and this last one is to collapse the folder. Okay, so I'll just be going straight to creating a new file, and also we'll need two extensions. If you've not watched the previous video, the first extension is the live preview. Okay, so there's it. I already have it installed, that's why I can't see the install tab here. The second one is the live server. Okay, I already have it installed, that's why I can't see the install button here. So if I didn't have it installed, for example, I'm just clicking a random extension here, you'll see an option to install it. Okay, so watch the previous video, or you can just install it to follow up on the class. Okay, I will just be creating a new HTML file. Remember, all HTML files or all HTML documents to be stored in the extension of .html. So by default, the home page in a web server web browser is always index.html. So I've created that, and there's an easier way to generate an entire code in HTML. Okay, there's an easier way to generate an entire code in HTML. So the easy way to do it is Control exclamation mark, or sorry, Shift and exclamation mark, and just type enter. So we have been able to develop or generate an entire HTML code. Okay, so for HTML5, we use the doc type .html. okay, then also put the HTML tag, opening tag, and also put the HTML closing tag. So by default standards, this is a default HTML code. Okay, but I would prefer, if you're just starting up HTML, you try as much as possible to type this manually. Okay, type this manually. Okay, so over here I made mention of the head tag. Okay, that it's the non-visible part of it shows the non-visible part of the browser, the uppermost part of the browser, like example the title tag. Okay, so inside this head tag we can also see some meta tags. Okay, some meta tags. So we can see meta tag, and we can see some attributes in the meta tag. We can see charset UTF-8. Okay, so now what this does is that this first one, what it does is that it translates every single thing here into binary numbers. Okay, the computer can only understand binary numbers. Binary numbers are numbers in zeros and ones. Okay, I don't want to go into binary numbers. Okay, now what the second meta tag does is that it adjusts the screen to any screen size. Okay, so in development we have about different screen sizes, but the major screen sizes we have desktop screen size, we have tablet screen size, and we have mobile phone screen size. Okay, so that's what these two tag does. Okay, or do. The last one here is the title tag. So these are not the only three tags you can put in the head tag. Okay, so the title tag is simply shows the title of the web page. Okay, so take example, I want to put this home, and I'll just say blog website. Okay, so that's what the title tag does. So if I were to open this in the browser now, okay, let me just add, if I were to open this in the browser, at the uppermost part of the browser we're going to see where this is going to be. It does not appear on the browser, but it appears at the uppermost part of the browser. Okay, where we have the favicon and all that. So let me just, if you have installed the extensions, place to save, you can simply come here to file and click on save, or we can simply set our code to auto save. So immediately we type anything, it gets saved. Okay, or we can simply type you can simply use Ctrl S to save. Ctrl S to save. Okay, I'll just create a TXT file here. So I'll just to type all these shortcuts. So I'll create a TXT file and I'll attach it to this the link of the description of this video. I'll just say okay, shortcut.txt. So you don't need to know what TXT file is, it's not very necessary, but this is just to store text. Okay, to store text, it's not important, but I'll just add it here so that we can see all the shortcuts here. I'll add it to the description of this video. So we'll go back now, and if you have installed the two extensions, you'll be able to use it right now. So to open this within the VS Code environment, I simply right click and I say show preview. Okay, since we have nothing yet, it's not going to show any text or any paragraph. So we can also see the title tag. Okay, as I said, it does not appear on the browser, but it appears at the uppermost part of the browser. So I've added, this is a home page and it's a blog website. Okay, which is exactly what is showing here. But I would like us to use the live server, okay, that opens in the browser. The show preview opens within the VS Code environment, but the live server, okay, sorry, the live preview opened within the VS Code environment, but the live server opens within the browser. Okay, so we'll be able to have a larger screen. So we're expected to have a pop-up. Remember, opening to live server is simply right click and say open with live server. Okay, so expected to have a pop-up on the screen on the browser. Expected to have a pop-up. Okay, so we have a pop-up on the screen, sorry, on the browser. Okay, from the show live server extension. Okay, from the live server extension. So I'll just be going into simple codes in this tutorial. So now we have the body, like I mentioned in the previous video. We have the body, okay, and a website divided into majority three major parts: header, body, footer. So but for SEO purposes, I'll be putting the header and the footer within the body. Okay, so I'll just type a header here. Okay, and I'll just type main. This is a tag that we can use to house our main content of the website, and I'll just type footer. Okay, so now for the header, like I said, you can use to put several things like the logo, the navigation, and to different pages. For the main here, we can put pictures, videos, and every main content of the website. For the footer here, we can put a footer menu, or we can put a copyright, depending on what you want to put. So I'll just create a paragraph tag. Here I can simply type P instead of typing the less than sign. I can type P and I'll type enter, and I can just say this is a paragraph for our tutorial. Okay, Ctrl S, or we don't even simply need to Ctrl S if we have auto saved it, if we have set it to auto save. So I've clicked here, you can see this tick sign that's been saved to configured to auto save. Okay, so I can simply go back to the browser, and you can see this is a paragraph for our tutorial. Now I made mention that you can add as much paragraphs as you want. You can add even 1,000,000 paragraphs. So we're going to be adding the second paragraph here, and I'll type, okay, this is a second paragraph for our tutorial. Ctrl S, or simply saved. Okay, so I go back to the browser. You can see now the computer has indicated or we have told the computer we want 2 paragraphs. Now there's one thing in HTML, or there's one thing about coding. The computer does read line by line, okay, but the computer does not read as humans do. So even if I were to put, you notice I put this p tag in one line. So even if I were to put this p tag like this and like this, and I even give space, so the computer will still see this as one paragraph. Okay, so go back and see, and you can see nothing has changed. Okay, nothing has changed. So it's very important you get that at the back of your mind. The computer reads line by line, and until you give a certain command, the computer will fully not respond to certain things that do not match this command. Okay, so I'll just simply add another paragraph. Now if you're not too sure what you want to put inside a paragraph, you just want to develop a website with junk text, there's something they call lorem. Okay, so lorem is used to develop junk text. Okay, what is junk text? Just random text. Okay, and it generates it in Latin. So if I wanted, let's say 30 words, I can simply type lorem 30 and type enter. Okay, so it has generated 30 words. Now if you notice, it's out of our own screen size. So I can simply type Alt Z. Don't worry, I'll be attaching every shortcut to this txt file and attaching it to the description of this video, and as well posting it in the WhatsApp group. So Alt Z, it has now become within the screen resolution of our VS Code. So I click on save, or no need to click on save. We have configured our code to be auto save. So I come here, you can see 30 different text. Okay, 30 different text. Okay, so I go back and I want to add something else. Let's say I want to add 100 text. I type P and I type lorem 100 and I type enter. You can see the same thing. I've generated 100 text. Okay, so I go back to the browser and I say this is 100 text. Okay, so that's it for paragraph. And aside paragraph, there are several other tags that are also in existence, okay, in HTML. And one of the tags I would like us to know early enough is a div tag. Okay, div tag. Oh, before we get to the div tag, I want us to talk about formatting text. Okay, so there are several tags you can use to format text. So you go to a random website, you see some text, or you visit a website, you see some text that are bold, some are italic, and some have certain features. Okay, so that could be added with HTML. So take example, I wanted to make this text bold. Okay, this paragraph, this is a paragraph for our tutorial. I want to make this text bold. Okay, I can simply add a tag known as b tag. Okay, so I cut this and I paste this, Ctrl S. Okay, so I go back to the browser and I would see now this is has changed to bold. Okay, this is now bold, this is now bold, so we can see the difference. So we can't only do this for one text, we can also do it within the entire paragraph. Okay, so let me just change this second paragraph to bold, everything to bold. So I put a b tag. Now don't forget, in HTML you can put tags within tags, okay, just like I'm doing here right now. So I want to change the entire text to bold, the entire paragraph, sorry, to bold. So I've indicated here to the computer or to the browser I want a paragraph. I've wrapped everything around the paragraph, the opening paragraph and the closing paragraph tag, and I've also wrapped the entire paragraph in the bold text. Okay, so I go back to the browser. Remember, we have configured everything to autosave, and you can see this is the second paragraph for our tutorial, and it's bold. Okay, so aside being bold text, you can also make our text italic. Okay, so I want to change let's say this lorem. Okay, let me just add English here. This is a text for formatting. Okay, so take example, I want to add this, I want to change this text to italic, this formatting text to italic. I can simply add an I tag, or yes, so that's the text for making a text, that's the tag for making a text italic. Paste, save. So I go back and I see this is the text for formatting. So this formatting is now italic. You can do that to the entire paragraph also. Now I'll just use one more formatting text. There are several, there are maybe over 20, 10, 15, but I'll just use 3 for this example. Okay, so I want to change, let's say this text, I want to cross the text. I can use a del tag known as del tag, and I cut, Ctrl X. So I go back and I see this is a text for formatting. Now I've added a del tag here, that's why it has crossed the text. Okay, so there are several other formatting text, okay, and we can explore them. I'll be adding what is known as a cheat sheet to the description of this video to see the entire formatting tags. Okay, so I can't mention all because of time, and we can always explore, within the HTML course. All right, next we're going to be going on to is headings. Okay, so now headings are used to add titles, to the web page. Okay, so I'll just be going on to a website. I've already opened it here, and I say about. So this is one of my projects for a client, and this is an about tag. Oh, sorry, this is a heading tag. Okay, this is precisely a H1. So this is used to add a title to a web page. Okay, so this is the about page, and this is the H1. Now the H1 is the biggest heading. For SEO purposes, it's good to add just one H1 to the web page. So if you go to our services also, okay, so you can also see a H1 here. Now there are about 6 headings. Okay, there are about 6 headings. All right, so you need to put one heading per page. So this can be H1, this can be H2, like that, H3, H4 to yeah. So we'll just give a brief example in the code. So I come back to the code and I type H1, and I just say home. Let me just use it as home, or I can just give the title of the website. Let's just give this sample. I can say welcome to a tutorial website, and I save and I go back. So by default H1 is big. H1 is big, so H1 is the biggest tag. So you can say welcome to our tutorial website. Okay, so that's the biggest tag, and we need to use one per per page. Okay, for SEO purposes. SEO is just simply search engine optimization, so it helps Google identify the title of a page and the subtitle of a page. So we can add several other subtitles to a page by adding several other headings like H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So as I said, there are 6 different headings, and I'll just copy this so that we can see the different sizes. Okay, so Ctrl S, we have simply had it autosave, but if you've not had autosave, you can simply use Ctrl S to save it. So welcome to our tutorial website. You can see this is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Okay, so you can insert this to different parts of your website. Okay, but you only need one H1 per page. Okay, you can insert multiple H2, H3, H4, and the rest of them. So maybe we'll get to SEO on our HTML project, or when we get to hosting and in the later part of the course, we would know how to use them properly. So I'll just I'll just delete these other ones. I'll change them into comments. Okay, so I'll save this. Next I'm going to go into is divs. Okay, so now divs is simply div tags are simply page dividers. Okay, so page dividers. Now I'll just be going to the previous website I visited. Now divs are simply used to divide our pages into different sections. Okay, into different sections. So now looking at this web page, I can divide this into I can add a div around this. Okay, I can add a div around this. Okay, so this can be divided from this through the divs. Okay, so now looking at this web page, we can say we add a div, we add a h2, we add a paragraph, and we add a button, and we add a icon, and we add a picture. Okay, so we can do so many things with the div. So we can wrap a div around all the tags I've mentioned, okay, to differentiate it from this other section of the website. Okay, this is artist management, this is music production, this is live performance. Now the first thing why we add divs is like I said, to divide the pages into different sections, and also it gives us this level of flexibility on how we can style different sections of the website. Okay, so I'll just give an example. I can add a div around here, and I can say welcome to our tutorial website, and let's say I copy this X, and I just want to type something very meaningful here, so I'll just here I can say okay, P, I can say in this tutorial we would be discussing something, would be learning about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, click on save, and I go back to the browser. So this can be one section. Okay, this can be one section, and let me just see if I can add another section here. So I've ended the div here, so I can add another section here through the div. I can say div, enter, and I can put maybe h2. I can say about HTML. Okay, and let me just copy this. I'll be leaving this for, so I can say about HTML. I'll just write something about HTML. So I can say HTML is used to create the structure of the website as well as its foundation. Remember, this is just a tutorial. Okay, I just want people to grab the concept of what this tags are being used for, okay, at various times. Okay, so I'll go back to the code or the browser. You can see I've been able to divide this from this. Okay, I've been able to provide this from this. Okay, that's what divs can be used for. It can also be used within other divs, but just understand basic concepts. We'll get back into multiple things divs can be used for later in the course. Okay, so another thing I want to be also do is learn about line breaks. Okay, learn about line breaks. Now line breaks can be used to create a new line. Okay, I'll give an example that the computer only reads the tags and not the lines. So even if I were to do this, so this is a different line in our code, but if I were to go back to the browser, it's still the same. Okay, because the computer is reading the tag. It's reading the tag. Okay, so from here to here, the computer still sees it as one heading, one tag. Okay, but we can create a new line by adding a certain tag known as BR tag. Okay, so BR tag is one of the empty tags. Okay, what are empty tags? Empty tags are tags that just have only the opening tag without the closing tag. Okay, so container tags are the ones that have the opening tag and the closing tag. So I add a BR tag and I go back and I see welcome to our tutorial class or tutorial website. Okay, and a new line has been created, so you can add as much BR as you want. So if I go back and I add another BR to give more space, I will not advise you to use BR inside the heading tag. I'm just using this for demonstration purposes. Okay, so I go back and you can see I have multiple 2 line spaces now. So one BR tag is for 1 line space, 2 BR tag is for 2 line space. Okay, so I go back to the code. Let's say I remove this X, and let me see, I just paste it here. I paste it after the first div, differentiating it from the second div. So that's a very excellent place to use the BR tags. Okay, so you can see there's a space between the first div and the second div. Okay, the first div and the second div. So that's an excellent place to use BR tag. Not necessarily you can use it within the paragraph, you can use it basically anywhere. Okay, so that's it for the BR tags. Okay, the line breaks. Okay, line breaks, I call it line breaks. Okay, I can call it BR tag also. So I can also add comments in HTML. So just like how you make a comment that is not relevant to a conversation, you can also make a comment that might be relevant or might not be relevant to a code. So a comment can be added but does not appear on the web page. So that a comment, you simply use the lesson sign, exclamation mark, and 2 hyphen, and a comment has been added. So whatever I put within this comment now does not show. So an excellent place to use comment, or how to use comment, is to add it in critical places. Okay, so comment can simply be added so that if another developer views your code, to be very easy to navigate. So take example, I have 2,000 lines of code and I want to navigate and change something that another developer has developed or has created, another code developer has created. So I can add a comment here. I can say end of main body. Okay, and I can also add another comment. I can say footer begins here. Okay, footer begins here. So this is an excellent example of how you can use a comment. Okay, so it's not, you don't necessarily need to use it like this. You can add basically anything. So take example, I'm creating a website and I don't want to use this lorem anymore, or maybe I might use it in the development process later in the future. I can change this entire paragraph to a comment. So I simply copy the paragraph and I use Control and slash. Okay, so I've changed this to a comment. So now I've told you that the comments do not appear on the web browser. So if I were to go to the web browser, I won't see these 2 comment tags I've added here. So you can see it's non-existent. Okay, so it doesn't appear on the browser. Okay, so I go back and I want to do the same thing. I want to remove it. I copy it and I type Control and slash forward slash Control S, or it's simply saved already. So I'll be adding every single shortcut here into the shortcut.txt file I've used in this code or in this tutorial. Okay, that's it for comments. So I can be going to another tag known as a navigation tag. So I made mention like the header is being used to put up certain things, okay, like the logo, the site title. Okay, so the navigation bar is used to put on navigation of the website. Okay, navigation tags of the website. So I put on a navigation bar and I can add several things inside the navigation bar, like home page, about page, blog page, contact page. Okay, so that's what the navigation bar does. So if you're just starting on coding, you can keep as much spaces as you want so that you don't mix up the opening tag from the closing tag. Okay, don't mix up the opening tag from the closing tag. So if you've not watched previous video on what I talk about the opening tag, closing tag, please try as much as possible to do so that you understand fully. Okay, what is going on here? So within this tag, I can add what is known as the A tag. Okay, the A tag is simply known as the anchor link. Now the anchor link links can link with pages within other pages, or within other pages of the website, or within external pages of the website. Okay, so I'll just add an anchor link, and I can say home. I excluded the attribute inside the anchor link for reasons. For I just want to keep it as simple as possible so that people fully understand what attributes I'll be going into attributes. I think that's the last thing I'm going to be doing in this part of the tutorial, this video. So I can say home about, again, blog, again, contact. So I save it. It's already saved. Throw to save. So I go back to the browser and I see maybe 4 pages now. Okay, so they're not looking very fantastic. They're not even looking like a header, but remember, this is a tutorial, introduction to HTML. I want people to grab the concept of what A tags are used for. Okay, so this is what the navigation tag can be used for. This is one of the ways. You can also add it in the footer, in the different parts of your website. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to be talking about in this part of the tutorial is attributes. Okay, so I'll just be giving an example of what attributes are. So I go and I just say, okay, laptop. Let me just type what a laptop is. Type laptop on Google. I just say images. So this is just an example. Okay, I just click on a random laptop here. Okay, so an example of attribute is that, okay, I just come to this random laptop. I'm using this laptop just to demonstrate what attributes are. These are not what attributes are, but I'm just using this laptop to demonstrate. So we have been typing a lot of tags: A tag, B tag, div tags, and all that. Now we look at this laptop and we say, how can we describe this laptop? What are the attributes of this laptop? Okay, then why is so slow? Let me click on this other one. Sorry. Oh, even if you don't click it, no problem. So I asked myself, what is the attributes of this laptop? You can say that the laptop has a brown color, or sorry, an ash color, has maybe a 14 inches screen, has a black keyboard, has maybe the memory space is like 500 gig, 80 gig RAM. So I've simply described the attributes of this laptop. Okay, so that's just exactly the same thing with our code. Okay, so now attributes are way different when it comes to coding, but I'm just giving an example of what attributes are. So in attributes are used to add certain features, okay, certain features to our tags, our code, or our website. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. I want people to fully understand the concept. So I go to H1 and there's an attribute called align. Okay, there's an attribute called align. Now if I go to the browser, I can see that this welcome to our website is on the left. So by default, all HTML tags are aligned to the left. Okay, but if we add an attribute, like I said, you want to add an attribute, you want to describe something, like I told you with the laptop and all that, we can align this attribute to the center. Or sorry, we can align this tag to the center. We can push this H1 tag to the center. We can push it to the right. So I'll just go back to the code, and I've said, okay, align. I've added an align attribute. Now attributes are any other thing you can use to describe or any other features you can add to the opening tag, not the closing tag, the opening tag of your HTML tag file or document. Okay, so I can align it to, let's say, center, save. I go back to the code and you can see welcome to our website has what got into the center, similar to what we can do here. Okay, so welcome to our website has got into the center, welcome to our tutorial website has got into the center, our H1 tag has got into the center. We can do the same thing for the rest of our tags here. Okay, we can also align this welcome to our tutorial website to the right. So I can type right, okay, so you can see that's going to the right, but let's just leave it at the center. I think it looks good. Center. Okay, so you can see welcome to our tutorial website in the center. Okay, so there are several other attributes you can add, and I'll just let me just take one last one. So if, let's say, I go to the footer, I want to add something. Let's say I want to add a copyright, and I say copyright at 2024, and I click on save. Okay, so I go back to the code. You can see the copyright is at the left, and I want to just get it to the center. I can say align center. Okay, so now it's at the center. All right, so another thing we can do with the A tag is linking it within the pages of our website or externally outside our website. So this within the pages. Now we have not created multiple pages yet. Okay, so I'll just leave it as it is here, and I'll just want to create, let's say 2-3 A tags here. I can just create a P tag and put some A tags inside. So I'll be creating an A tag here to link some things here to the external part of our website. Okay, so I think the last thing we'll just do for this part of the video. So A tag. So I want to create a tag that can link Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So I'll just create a tag. I've created a tag here, a tag that can link us to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Okay, whenever it is clicked. So I'll add an attribute known as hyperreference or href. Okay, and I'll add it here also, href. Okay, so this is a feature of the A tag. Okay, it might not work on other tags, but it works perfectly well on the H tag. Now hyperreference is simply to reference to either a URL or another page within the website. Okay, so I give this a Facebook URL. So if you have a business, you can link it facebook.com. So https twitter.com. Oh, sorry, I skipped this. https instagram.com. Okay, so in case you can't just you have a personal page, let's say on Facebook, or let's say on Twitter. So you have a Twitter page. Twitter is now X, but I think they maintain the URL. So you want to link it to a particular page. So I'll just use my personal account for this example. Okay, this would just go to the home page of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So I go back to the browser, and now I have 3 different tags, a tags here. So if I were to click on Facebook, so you can see Facebook has opened. Okay, my network is just quite slow, don't know what's wrong. So okay, so you can see Facebook has opened. So I go back and I click on let's say Instagram. So you can see Instagram has opened. Now there's one problem within this. Well, once any of these pages open, it automatically closes our website. Okay, it closes our website. So there's another a tag, there's another attribute in the a tag we can add to make sure you know, it opens on a new tab. So it's called target, and we can add blank. Okay, so add it again, target, you can add blank. Now the attribute tags, you can add as much attributes as you want. Okay, I'll give an example of the laptop. You can use this attribute to describe basically anything about your code. So now I've added a target attribute, okay, that will open, that will pop up, okay, our website. So now remember, when I clicked on Facebook, it closed our browser and opened Facebook, but now it's going to be very different. So I click on Facebook, you can see our browser is still here, our website is still here, and it popped up Facebook. So I'll go back and do the same thing for Twitter. You can see that's popped up. Okay, I'll go back on Instagram, the same one, that's popped up. Okay, so now I just put a random URL of the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, so that's why it's just open a random, you know, page here, but I can link it to a very particular page. Okay, so now what do you do to link your anchor link to a particular page? This is just my personal Twitter account, not very active, but that's a profile. So this is my personal Twitter account. Okay, so I want to link it to this particular one. Let's say my Twitter. I come here as a copy, and I go to Twitter, I change this URL, and I paste my, okay, and I say save. Okay, it's already saved through the autosave, and I go back to the code. Remember, this Twitter just opened randomly, okay, on a Twitter timeline like this, but I go back to the code and I now click on Twitter. So you can see now a particular page or URL is opened. So if you have a business and anything, you can link your business to your website through, you know, this anchor link URL. So we'll be stopping here for today, and I'll be uploading, see you in the next video. The other part of the HTML part 2 will be uploaded very soon. Okay, see you in the next video.